Welcome to our Wednesday morning healing class. Very different to the Tuesday and Thursday activity class. Sometimes we start without a warm-up, but today we'll do a very gentle warm-up. I think the idea of getting the blood and the chi flowing around the body is a really important thing on any day. And so no matter how you're feeling, whether you're feeling tired or ill, it's good to do a very, very small version of the warm-up. And when I turn all the way around to the back and look, you might only want to just sort of turn a little bit, tiny movements. And so when we start with tiny movements, we can then allow our mind to imagine the possibility of moving to larger movements. And then when we start to imagine the possibility of that, the mind will gently allow that to happen. So you can always make micro movements. You can always adjust these movements. Perhaps you want to have a stool behind you so you can just sit down on it and do movements, with the upper body rather than the lower body. Perhaps you want to have a chair behind you so you can sit down if you feel wobbly. No problem. If you want to lie down on the couch, lie down on the carpet, that's fine. Just listen, no problem. So this can be done in any way to suit you. But this morning we will do a small warm-up. I'd like you to stand with your shoulder width feet. And so just to point that out, very often we stand at hip width, but that's not what we're looking for here. Widen the hips, quite clearly the shoulders. So we step out for a good wide stance. Even wider than that is fine. Knees just soft and unlocked. So just relax the knees down. So as soon as we relax into the knees, the weight shifts slowly, gently forward into the front of the foot. And that just softens into the front of the foot. It means that the chi flows much easier through the legs. We sit the tailbone down, drop your tailbone down towards the ground, but at the same time, let's try and stretch the spine up and push the top of the head up into the blue sky. So we have this kind of idea of the spine lengthening. Tailbone pulls down, top of the head pushes up, nice long straight spine. And then we try and rotate round the center line of our body. So gently turn and look back over your shoulder. Just see how your back feels today. Are there any sort of grumpy bits, any sort of sore bits? We just take those into account. And then we just start to move more freely. Shoulders are relaxed, elbows are relaxed, hands are open, they gently tap onto the side of the body. Sometimes at this part of the class, I talk about things. I've just been having an interesting conversation. I wonder if I should share it. I suppose I will. I think there's very little filter for me when it comes to these classes. My interesting conversation was around the subject of death. Nice, cheery thing to chat about at this time of the morning. But it was talking about the value of it. And the value of it, if you see this life as being a kind of one shot, then it feels a bit desperate. But if you see this life as being multiple, just another one of a series, then suddenly all the power of that goes away. And I think that at the deepest level, all humans have this fear which kind of keeps us moving forward and drives us. Sometimes it can be quite a healthy fear. We're always looking for food and we're always looking for money and we're always looking for safety and all these things. And that keeps us driving forwards as a species, as a family, whatever it might be. And underlying it is the fact that all of that might stop. And then what happens, I wrote in my book, it's sort of very dramatic. I seem to remember a passage about, tomorrow I'm going to lose my job. Maybe I'm not going to eat. Maybe I'll lose my house. Then perhaps I'll be on the street, and shortly afterwards I'll die. I used to think, yeah, well, life is very rarely as dramatic as that. But somehow in our crazy minds, the fear can do that. It can sort of, late at night or early in the morning when you're waking up or something, you can have these extraordinary downward spirals where you look at yourself and go, good God, really? Where did all that drama come from? But somehow deep down, there's a sort of a fear. And underlying that fear, I think, is the fear of death. And unfortunately, it kind of drives us to do things in a bit of a crazy way. So we work harder than we should work, or we, try to excel, we try to push more than we should do. And all of it is this kind of desire to make sure we're safe. And the opposite of, safe is death, I think, is the sort of, they're not quite, what we'd think of as being polar opposites, but ultimately it is. It's a comfortable, happy, long life as opposed to a short and, painful life. And so we have this underlying fear that's a part of our kind of caveman brain that's been there forever. And it's interesting that we look at things like Hinduism and well, yeah, Buddhism to a certain extent and things. Yeah, well, Buddhism as well, but mainly Hinduism is one of the key things I think of, where people just accept what their lives are. They just say, oh dear, I've been cast down as a beggar on the street. Well, that's just this life. If I sort of carry through this life the best I can, then the next life's going to be much better. And they cheer themselves up with that thought. And that's not a sort of thought that we think about. We just think, oh my God, what's happening? But if you take a much longer view of the whole thing, I, 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 I feel obliged to tell you a bon mot that I always remember when I think about, long cycles. And it's the story about President de Gaulle meeting Chairman Mao, and President de Gaulle saying to Chairman Mao, what do you think of our glorious French Revolution? And Chairman Mao looking at him and saying, too early to tell. I really like that, because the Chinese think in sort of 400, 500-year cycles. And, we think about, 3 or 4, our politicians think about 4 years at a time, nothing more, it seems. There's no future thinking at all anymore. Okay, so let's just slow this exercise down a little bit and open it out, stretch out further. So what I'm saying here, what am I saying here, is that people have a very different take on life and death in different parts of the world. Just to tell you an extraordinary story, I think I've mentioned it many times, but my teacher Lou, his father became unwell, and they took him to the doctor, and the doctor took the family aside and said, look, your father's got very aggressive prostate cancer and he's not got long to live. And they decided as a family not to say anything to him, just to say, oh, take a few pills, it'll go away, because the information was so bad from the doctor. And so they decided to shield his father from the doctor. And so the father came home, and the swelling went down or whatever. And he was very satisfied, and he carried on just, working through and enjoying his life. And in the end, I think he had lived another 8 or 9 years, way beyond the expectation of what everybody thought. But one of the curious things about it was that Teacher Lou went out and he bought his father a coffin, and they brought it home and put it in the garage and said, look, Dad, this is what you're going to be buried in. Just wanted you to see it beforehand, get your approval, all this sort of stuff. And his father said, yes, I think it looks very nice. I might try lying in it a few times. And so that was it. His father sort of, spent an afternoon sleeping in the coffin or whatever. And all of the sort of the fear of death around the whole thing just faded away. There was just a very natural progression. And not having had the sort of diagnosis, his father just thought, well, everything's fine. I'm going to carry on living my life, which he did, for a further 9 years, I think it was. As I say, way beyond their expectation. And so there's something very interesting about the way people view it and the way we view it in the West. And if you're thinking, oh my God, life is so difficult, the other side of it is, oh, well, maybe if I'm having a tough time this life, next life's going to be fantastic. And so I don't know if that's of any use to you at all today, but it's been part of my weird conversation with a friend. And so I just thought I'd share it with you. I think it makes life it takes a lot of weight off life if you suddenly think, oh, I don't really care about it. It's not a problem. Everything's okay. And of course, if we're the Buddhist idea of deep attachment is the problem, of course. We're so attached to our house and so attached to our dog and so attached to our children and our grandchildren and so attached to our partners and things like that. How could I possibly leave them behind? But actually, in the sort of Buddhist idea of non-attachment, it's kind of that's what you do is you look to, from your 50s and 60s onwards, you start to look at the idea of giving up your attachments to things, not being owned by anything. And you saw that thing I put onto WhatsApp, I have no doubt. It says, it's not about the amount of things that you own, it's about the amount of things that own you. And I think that's really important. If you feel that you're owned by everybody and everything, then it makes life much more difficult. But if you just think, this is my life, this is me, I'm the center of this, I'm looking after me, and then I make myself very happy and I make myself well, and then everybody around me benefits from me being in that wonderful space, rather than I'm put on earth here to work for everybody else, no matter what happens to me. It doesn't matter if I wither away and die, painfully, as long as everybody else is happy. And that sort of martyr aspect is a really, really dangerous one for us. We really have to see that the most important person in this life is you. There is nobody else except you. Everything else around you is just part of the play. And that you have to play your character the best you possibly can. Enjoy your life the most you can. Be happy, smile, be loving, be friendly. Because as soon as you radiate all these wonderful qualities out, everybody else benefits. And then everything just falls into place. But nobody owns you. Nobody is your master, just you. Yeah, there we are. Got that off my chest. Let's slow down and come to a stop. Gosh, we've been doing that for a long time. Hopefully you don't feel too dizzy. If you do, this next exercise really helps. So lift the hands up. Let's pour the qi down through the body. So feeling lightheaded and dizzy is a result of qi having moved up into your head. So now we move it down to the belly. And now we connect ourselves deep into the ground to bring about balance. Lift qi up. Pour qi down. Draw qi down from your head. Move qi down into your chest. Focus everything deep into your belly. And then when we release the hands, the qi just follows down the legs. Let's go again. Lift up. Pour down. Draw down. Qi deep inside. Lift up. Pour down. Draw down. Focus the qi deep into your belly. So take a quick stock of how you feel. Do you feel light, open, relaxed? Or do you feel wobbly? If you feel wobbly, just keep going with the pulling down. If you feel light, relaxed, settled, qi flowing well, then that's fine. So I think what we'll do is we'll just skip on the next exercises and we'll move to our meditation phase. So yes, as I say, keep pulling down if you wish. I think we'll just pull down one more time and draw qi back to the belly. As I just occasionally mentioned, this exercise is all about, can be used for lowering blood pressure as well. So if you have low blood pressure, don't go too crazy with this exercise. Let the hands settle. The first part of an exercise is the physicality, knowing how to move the movement correctly. The second part of it is the qi aspect. And so in this case, our qi hands have a kind of qi field around them. And so when you move your hand close to the body, the qi field of the hand interacts with the qi field of the body, and you're able to move, massage the qi downwards from your head down to your belly here. The third aspect of it is your intention. It's more so we're talking about body, energy, and then kind of spirit, as it were, in kind of ancient terms. And your intention is really key to this. So if you feel incredibly lightheaded, if you suddenly find yourself feeling wobbly in a public space, let's say, you have to bring yourself back deep into your belly, deep into lower dantian. Draw yourself back home. So you don't have to be waving your arms around and drawing qi down through your body to achieve this. All you need to do, you can do it with a breath. Breathe a gentle breath into the center of your head. When you breathe out, focus all the qi deep into your belly, and then just hold your mind there for a few moments. So if you're in a public space and you don't want to be doing sort of strange movements of any sort, you can just sit quietly and just bring your, perhaps close your eyes for a moment, draw a breath in, settle yourself deep into the belly. You don't even have to have your eyes closed either, but it's about using your intention to bring yourself back into this core area. The reason we settle the hands on the belly is that all of the qi settles in lower dantian. So if we go in from the front, where we would kind of bump into the front of the spine, this area just in front is lower dantian. So the hands on the tummy can settle us there. And in fact, I was just walking with with my kind of a sports hoodie. It has the hood, it has the pockets at the front, and I realized that you can just put your hands very nicely onto lower dantian when you have your hands in your pocket. Sometimes garments will actually help you to do that. You've got your coat, you can kind of just pull your hands across. That doesn't look too weird. So there's plenty of kind of little strategies when you're out and about to bring yourself home, as it were. And so we always need to bring ourselves back to lower dantian to center ourselves if we're feeling, great British word, excuse that if you don't know it, discombobulated. It means kind of scattered, and this is what we talk about when your qi becomes scattered. So your qi becomes scattered when you're rushing around and you're better do this, and have I forgotten that, and oh, where are my car keys? That's scattered thinking, but it's also scattered qi. And so sometimes, when you're leaving the house and you're thinking, I might be late and have I got everything? Perhaps it's better just to stop for a moment in the hallway, settle yourself and just think, okay, from a centered place, just let me look around and see if everything's okay. Have I switched everything off? That kind of thing. Move from a centered place and then say, okay, everything's ready. I can do this at a quick but organized pace. So you bring yourself back into yourself, not just running around like a crazy person. So qi can be easily scattered, but qi can easily be gathered back, drawn back into the mind, settled down into lower dantian, sunk deep into the body. The structure of a qi world. We are made of qi. Everything around us is made of qi. So the idea is that our intention creates our life. We've heard this manifesting idea a million times in Western spirituality. I don't think we've quite got it right, but the idea is that everything we focus on becomes, everything we draw our attention to can be brought into reality. So the building that I'm standing in has required an architect to think, right, gosh, I could put a building here. And then what will it look like? And then where are the doors and the windows? And what are the spaces like? And so he creates this idea in his head, and then it goes onto paper, and the paper's passed to a builder, and the builder creates it. And we have this building that's essentially come out of the seed of an idea of someone's mind. Everything comes from the seed of an idea of someone's mind. This bookcase, some IKEA person has thought, bookcase, and this is what's arrived. And so everything comes from this seed of intention. As well as the illnesses in our body, they come from the seed of intention as well. As crazy as it might seem, why would you want to build an illness inside your body? Who knows? Perhaps you want to have attention from your loved one. Perhaps you haven't had any attention from your loved one. Perhaps you haven't had a loved one. Perhaps you want to get revenge on someone And in so doing, you've decided that hurting yourself is the best way. Perhaps you've just been told so many times by other people you're not worth it that you've come to believe that's the case. And now you just think, well, somewhere in the back of the mind is just thinking, oh, well, we'll just finish all this off then if we're not worth it. So, whatever the story is that we've created, the seed of intention has built something inside us. Dr. Pang says this body is the most powerful medicine factory in the whole of the universe. Nobody can make extraordinary drugs for your body the same way as you can. But the question is, who's in control of that medicine factory? Are you in control of it? Or is some crazy subconscious mad idea in control of it? So when we settle down at the beginning of this exercise, what we're doing is we're asking the logical side of the brain that runs all these crazy subroutines just to shut up for a little while, just to go quiet. What we're trying to do is draw ourselves back into this chi being and allow the left logical side of your brain just to go offline, just to shut down, just to quieten for a while. Because it's also the left logical side of the brain that creates all of this, that creates this reality, that creates the physicality. And so when we try and relax that logical side of our brain, it allows us just to become one with our surroundings, just to merge with everything around us, not to feel the separation that we always feel, but to dissolve back into the chi field. As soon as we start to dissolve back into the chi field, the blockages inside the body, and a blockage essentially is a pain inside the body or a lump inside the body or something that's a process that's gone wrong inside the body. It's just seen as being a block in the correct flow of chi. Perhaps there's chi flowing in the wrong direction now, and that's kind of making issues. So blockages can divert chi in the way you don't want them to go. So now what we're asking to do is to take all of these, programming, to take all those programs offline. The program that says, "Oh, I'm scared of something," that's pouring fear into your kidneys, and the kidneys are making adrenaline that sluices out into your system. We take that offline, stop that program, dead. And then suddenly the whole chemical story can go, oh, okay, let's not make that for a while. And then suddenly the body's not got so much adrenaline in it anymore. And then the body can start, the other process can start to relax, healing processes. So this is why we do meditation, is to take the mind offline and allow the healing to come in the background. So here we are, just relaxing in a standing posture or a sitting posture or a lying down posture. We use Dr. Pang's 8 phrases because they help us through this journey. So the first thing he says is, imagine you can connect into the earth, imagine you connect to the heavens. Imagine going beyond the earth, out into the blue sky, heavens, blue sky, and then beyond that, universe all the way around. So the first thing he asks us to do is just to think outside of our bodies. Don't just be here in your body. Soften, relax, open, become universal chi. Now, it's easiest done with your eyes closed. These days, I practice with my eyes maybe 2/3 closed. I just sort of keep a little slot open at the bottom of my eyes. That sort of balances out the yin and yang a little bit more, I think, but it's my chosen. Doesn't matter. If your eyes are absolutely shut, that's fine. And if you can practice eyes open, also very good as well. The eyes open method, sometimes, something will draw your attention away. And so you have to have quite a solid practice to be comfortable with an eyes open as an eyes open practitioner. Okay, so we have this settled stance. You find what makes it work for you. Sometimes you have to just give your feet a little shake out if they're becoming a bit tired. Sometimes you just have to remind yourself to bend your knees. When we have this idea of the knees bent and the feet, the weight just shifted slightly forward onto the front of the feet, that's when we can imagine this root going down into the earth, like a tree deeply connected, but then go beyond that. Blue sky on the other side of our beautiful planet, and beyond that, the universe out into the open. And then above us, blue sky, and up, pushing the top of the head up makes the spine nice and long, gently drawing the chin back a little bit. And imagine pushing your head up into the universe. Let the whole body dissolve to the left and to the right, to the front and to the back. This is called the 6 directions of qi. Dissolve in the 6 directions of qi out into the universe. In the second step of his 8 phrases, he says to us, can you just allow your body to relax? And so the first step is needed, this idea of kind of softening into everything. And then just let the body relax. Sometimes that just means sitting down rather than standing. It's all right in the Wednesday class. The truth is that when you're standing, you're gathering qi much more freely than when you're sitting, but it doesn't really matter. You have to work with what you can work with today. Every single one of these Qigong classes has to be adapted to fit you. We're not doing Qigong for the form of it. We're doing Qigong for the best for you. You're not doing this Qigong form for me to gain my approval. You're doing it so that you feel happy, relaxed, and open. So no judgment here at all. This is a completely judgment-free space. So let your body relax in this way. Just allow your mind to go quiet. We can just feel the body. And when you're engaged in gently feeling the body, your mind can just quietly still. Sure, thoughts pop up, but gently draw the mind back again. Think of lower dantian for a few moments. Imagine a ball of qi deep in your belly. What does your ball of qi look like? I suggest things like a little pilot light and a boiler burning away, the little blue flame that lights the gas. Maybe a glowing ember deep inside a fire or a furnace, the orange glow of that burning. Perhaps it looks, I don't know. I came up with the image once of a marble that we used to play with as children, those glass balls, and inside them they have this extraordinary kind of flower-shaped, colored piece of something inside the glass. Oh gosh, does mine look like a marble? And then it depends on the size. Perhaps it's much bigger than that. Perhaps you think it's the size of a melon, some enormous ball of qi. What eventually happens is that as you concentrate on your qi, it does expand. Sometimes it fills the whole of your belly. Sometimes it expands down your legs and up into your body and down your arms and up into your head. Your whole body becomes the qi ball. Then we can think of the qi field around us. At the end of these meditations, we often talk about a qi body, a ball of qi. It's a meter in front, a meter behind, left, right, up and down. But that's it. It kind of generates from deep inside the core of you and expands out through the whole of your body and expands out to become your qi body and beyond. So you are the center of this beautiful field of qi generated from lower dantian, deep inside your belly. So whenever your mind zooms away, you can gently bring it back and just think about how your body looks. There's an aspect of, it just suddenly came up, with Leonardo da Vinci and Vitruvian Man or Vitruvia's Man, or whatever it's called, that wonderful image. But that's got a beautiful circle that encompasses the whole of the man in the center. And it's like that man's inside a qi field, in his own qi field. Perhaps Leonardo da Vinci knew about qi fields as well. I'm sure he did. So there's you inside this beautiful field of qi. The body just merging into the qi field. The next thing Dr. Pang's 8 phrases, he says, it's not obvious now what's outside and what's inside. We're no longer making that delineation of the skin barrier. It's not really even possible with your eyes closed to exactly pinpoint where the skin layer is. Can you feel inside your arms? Can you feel inside your hands? Can you feel inside your shoulders? Feel inside your chest. Feel inside your belly, hips and pelvis. Feel inside your legs, all the way down to your feet, up at your neck and up into your head. It's possible to kind of imagine the space that we're occupying. But actually, it's also possible to feel ourselves as completely chi beings. I remember once teacher Ling drawing a kind of image of how it might be. And when she came to drawing the sort of skin layer, she just put in a dotted line, dot, 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 just showing roughly where your body is. And that's exactly how it feels. It feels like you can feel the outline of roughly where you are. You can feel the outline of roughly the space that you occupy. But also, you can just allow yourself to feel completely a chi being moving in a chi field. My little joke about being a chi vegetable in chi soup, chi vegetable soup, just floating around amongst all the other vegetables, but actually part of the greater whole. And so that's it, you're part of this vast chi world. Sometimes, if you sit quietly, and very often at dusk, just as the sun is going down, if you look at trees or flowers, you can easily see the aura around them. Sometimes, if you look at other people, I've seen it many times, someone's sitting with their back to a sort of skyline, and the sun is going down, and you can actually see their aura, and very clearly you can see how they are made up of the chi field. It's nice to do. Sometimes you can hold your hand up at dusk and just look at it and see almost through it, see the energy that radiates around it, see your Wei Qi layer. One of my other teachers told me about his master. He said if you looked at them in the early evening as the sun was going down, you could see that he had a halo. I sort of said, what, like a saint? He said, well, yes, but I mean, that's just his, chi field around him. And I thought, wow, that makes me think so much about all this religious iconography with these beautiful halos around the head. We're just seeing people's chi fields in paintings. Beautiful. He said on his shoulders, you could see Jianjing. So Jianjing is an acupuncture point that sits on the shoulders. Heavenly chi pouring down on the head. But of course, it pours down on the top of your body, on your shoulders as well. So we can gather chi in from Jianjing on our shoulders, and it pours down into the center of our body and then pours down into lower dantian. He said you could see his Jianjing glowing, this beautiful glow around his whole body, and this wonderful halo around his head. Yeah. So we've dissolved into the chi field, just become one with everything around us. As soon as you soften into this beautiful chi state, it's possible for you to gently scan through your body just to see if there's anything that feels a little bit blocked today. So what's the sensation of that for me? When I look through my body, look in inverted commas, feel, feel, my friend Caroline's word, see and feel combined into one word, feel. It's a kind of like an inner seeing, feeling sensation. When you kind of scan through your body, sometimes the body shows things to you. Sometimes you'll think, oh, I can feel a blockage there in my leg. Just imagine really moving the qi through there and opening everything up. I can imagine sending light pouring into that area, healing qi pouring into that area. And then you just take your mind away from it and say, okay, sent my healing qi there. That's going to be fixed now. Sometimes when you relax into qi, there's nothing obvious. You just think, oh, well, I don't particularly need any qi anywhere, but I could just pour qi through my whole body. So you can imagine the whole body benefits from this beautiful wave of qi. Now, feel the qi field around you. Expand. Expand out into your room or your area that you're working in. Perhaps you move beyond that. If you live in the countryside or a town, a city, start to expand outwards. And think about your state or your county and your country. Think about your continent. Think about the whole of our beautiful blue planet. Expand beyond that. At some stage, we get to this beautiful satellite view of our beautiful planet laid out in front of us. It's a lovely moment to stop and perhaps just send some healing down. Pour some healing down to someone. Pour some healing down to somewhere. Fill their lives with healing qi. So we have this ability to extend our qi to other people. But in so doing, when we connect with other people, it really benefits us. So doing healing for people in this way is a really powerful thing for ourselves. So whenever you have a quiet moment, just imagine you could extend healing qi to someone, somewhere, because it's never exhausting for you. It only ever gives you benefit. It's a whole reciprocal universe. Never a bad thing to send healing to someone. Never exhausts you if we're just doing it on an energetic level. We just remember the universe is vast. And the most important thing as well, this is not my qi that I'm sending to you and I'm giving it to you as a favor. We just become this kind of part of the universe, moving universal qi into someone else's life. It doesn't cost you anything because you are the universe. You're just using a little bit of your intention to guide qi of the universe into someone else's life. So feel yourself soft and open. Feel that it's possible for you to guide healing qi to other people. Then we think about ourselves as a class. We can send healing qi to each other. But there's this beautiful idea that this kind of healing qi, no time, no space. So at some stage, counterintuitively, at some stage, other people will watch this video and join in. And they benefit from this qi as well. This healing qi that we apparently are sending in this time and space in a very specific moment goes way beyond that, goes way beyond that idea. We are enforcing a qi field here, reinforcing a qi field. And those people will benefit from the qi field just as we are doing now. So stay connected in the qi field. all of your day. Just know that whatever you do and wherever you go, we're all connected as a family. You're part of the 𝐤𝐥𝐚𝐤𝐿 family. In the Qi field, with all the teachers, with Dr. Pang, with the millions of people around the globe who do it every day and connect in the same way as we're connecting now. So you can just be part of that, constantly bathed in it wherever you go. Suddenly the idea of I'm alone in this, oh, poor me, just goes out the window, because now you've got this vast support. At some stage, we're going to have to turn back to the kind of logical mind, and it's going to start with all its stupid stories. But actually, you can step back for it and just be in this place and say, yeah, just let the chatter go on. That's fine. I know the truth of the universe now. I know that I'm this vast, incredible being. I know that I can dissolve into chi whenever I want. I know that I can set aside the crazy stories and just let them go for a while. In this lovely soft state, this is where we're totally harmonized with the chi field. This is the final line of Dr. Pang's 8 phrases. Joshan, wrong, wrong. Harmonized. So wrong means harmonized. And when you repeat it twice, it means very, very harmonized. Joshan, wrong, wrong. Our Shen is our spirit, deeply harmonized in the chi field. You, deeply connected with all there is. Draw your attention now deep inside the center of your mind. We draw ourselves back from the vastness of the universe. We bring all this healing chi spiraling back to our body. We bring this consciousness spiraling back to our body, and we draw it deep inside Shenji Palace, deep in the center of your brain. With the greatest of ease, we can expand out into the universe. With the greatest of ease, we can spiral this healing chi back into our body, deep inside. Everything in the universe is a spiral. Chi moves in a spiral form. This is the wonder of this extraordinary mind of ours, that at one moment we can expand out and open and fill the vastness of the universe. And at the next moment, we can imagine this extraordinary spiral of chi winding its way, drawing its way back deep into the center of our head, connected deep inside Shenji Palace. We can say Shenji, Shenji Palace. So Shenji, Shen is this word for our consciousness, for our spirit, and Ji is the word for palace. So when we say Shenji, we're focusing ourselves into this palace deep in the center of our brain. So we just say Shenji. Let it vibrate gently in the center of the brain. Shenji. Feel the center of your head starting to vibrate. Say it out loud with me or just listen, up to you. Shenji. inhabiting deep inside the center of our brain. 𝐸𝐥𝐸 Palace in the core of your brain, illuminating a beautiful light in the center of your brain, starting to illuminate the whole of your head, starting to illuminate every cell of your brain. Just imagine your brain working well, all functions of your brain, perfect working order. Say 𝐸𝐥𝐸. 𝐸𝐥𝐸 vibrates in the very core of your brain. Say 𝐸𝐥𝐸. Feel the focus, very core of you. Say 𝐸𝐸. Say 𝐸𝐸. Slowly we say it a little bit more quietly. Now you can say 𝐸𝐸 silently inside your head. I'll just continue very quietly so you can hear it a little bit. Relax the center of your head. Relax your consciousness. Just observe the subtle vibration deep inside your head as you say Shenji. Now gently expand from the center of your head to the vastness of the universe. Imagine the whole of your head can open and you can expand out. Fill the vastness of the universe with your consciousness. Your consciousness merging back into the consciousness of the universe. This fine, subtle energy. Your perfect consciousness. Connected with the perfect consciousness of the whole universe. You feel empty, but not empty. Oh. Empty, yet not empty. This wonderful idea. You have dissolved entirely into the universe. That you will always be the universe. Merge yourself deeply in the universe. And then start to draw the universe back into your internal universe. Bring the universe back into Upper Dantian. Your whole head, the universe. Illuminate your head. Illuminate your neck. Illuminate your shoulders, down your arms to your elbows, your wrists and your fingers. Illuminated by the universe. Into your throat and your neck and your shoulders. Down your spine into your ribs. The whole of your upper torso. Illuminate your lungs. Illuminate your spleen and pancreas on the left-hand side. Illuminate your kidneys around the back. Illuminate your liver around the front. Springtime, we send lots of chi deep inside. Illuminate your liver. Imagine the whole of your spine illuminated by the universe. Every bone perfectly articulated. Everything working well in your spine to your tailbone. Imagine your digestive system From your mouth all the way down, winding through your body. Perfect working order. Illuminate your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, the sensory organs. Feel the nervous system connecting everything, connecting your brain, connecting down your spine, pouring down your arms, pouring through your body, pouring down your legs, nervous system. Perfect working order. The blood system pumping from the heart, spreading out throughout the whole body to your fingertips. Perfect working order. Illuminate the whole of your nervous system, your blood system, your digestive system. And then the hormonal system. We have the glands in our head, pineal, pituitary, the glands in our throat, thyroid, glands in our chest, thymus, kidneys. We've got the adrenal glands, or the sexual organs. Feel the whole of the hormonal system in balance, working well. Illuminate the whole part of the upper body. Illuminate down into your hips and your pelvis. Illuminate down into your thighs. Feel your knees. Feel your knees illuminate. Feel your thighs. Go on down to your Achilles tendon. Down into your ankles, illuminated by chi. Into your feet, every little bone. Perfect. Illuminate. Whole of your body merges with chi. Whole of your body merges with the universe. Now we say shu. Shu. Shu makes everything finer, merges more deeply, dissolves us more deeply. Shu. Makes our inner space finer and finer, merges us more and more deeply with the universe. Shu. Inner space chi becomes as fine as the universal chi, at one with the entire universe. Shu. See yourself as the totality of consciousness. The consciousness of the universe is you. You are the consciousness of the universe. Shu. At one with the consciousness of the universe. This is what we call divinity. This is what we call God. This is what we call consciousness. This is what we call the entirety of everything. You have never not been the entirety of the universe. We just convince ourselves that we're not worthy, that we're not God, the universe, all there is. That's never been true. You are always one with the entirety of the universe. You are always perfect consciousness. So we say 𝐸 to merge deeply. 𝐸. What about the moment before 𝐸 arises inside you? You can feel the potentiality of the next 𝐸 arising, building like a wave. But in this moment before, your consciousness wishes to say 𝐸. This is the clarity of the entirety of the universe. This is where your true self exists. 𝐸. In this moment before the desire to say 𝐸 arises, this is your true healing self. Sometimes you might stand for 5 minutes before the next 𝐸 feels like arising. Perhaps 10 minutes. Perhaps an hour. Lost in this feeling of true self. Lost in this feeling of universal purity. Experiencing yourself as the universe. In this perfect MingJue state, you're able to send information incredibly clearly and precisely to other people's lives. You don't have to know what that information is. Just your intent to heal them is enough. Clean, clear, healing information, like an arrow planted in somebody else's life. Send good information. Doesn't have to be specific. Whenever you feel you might want to say 𝐸, go ahead. Mhm. Hmm. We can send healing information through our bodies. We can send healing information to other people. Remember how this state feels. Remember that you can bring yourself back here to a moment, in a moment. Bring yourself back to the MingJue place, to the MingJue state. Whenever you need it, whenever you're in fear, worry, anger, anxiety, overthinking, feeling sad, whatever it may be, whatever emotion may be, bring yourself back into this MingJue place. Just for a moment. Remember that you are the universe. Remember that you are God. God is in you. Remember that you are this vast universal being. And that the tiny, tiny melodramas of our life are just there to help us expand, just there to help us learn, just there. Yeah, to let us see the truth. Without all of these extraordinary things that have gone on in our lives, we wouldn't be here today experiencing ourselves as the vastness of it all. Everything has its place on the path. Nothing is ever wrong. So feel your body working well, healing now. Know that all the healing information you've sent out to other people is going to be perfect. It's going to help them however they need it. You never have to know, or you never can know what information to send a person. All you can do is to hold the intention for them to heal in a way that's perfect to them. One last thought. Sometimes healing in this life means coming to the end of this life. So perhaps the healing that somebody needs is to help them move on to the next life. So you might think to yourself, oh, gosh, I helped that person, but they died anyway. That was always on the cards. There was nothing you could do. The only thing you can do is to send your healing into someone's life and have them benefit in some way that's unfathomable to you. You could never know. So all we ever do is just send our best intention, our love and our light. And we allow everybody to move on their own paths with ease and grace and happiness and joy, whatever their path might be. And just remember, nothing is important. None of it matters. This one might be tough. The next one might be much better. This moment might be tough. The next moment might be brilliant. This month might be tough. Next month might be incredible. This year might be tough. The next year might be the best year of your life. We cannot know. And so we just allow ourselves to move through this game in the easiest way possible, with a smile on our face, with love in our heart, with joy and happiness. So let's just draw ourselves back to lower dantian. So when we come back and put our hands on lower dantian, it kind of helps us to come back into our physicality. It helps us to re-experience our body. Now we've come to know what our body really is. Our body is just a vast collection of chi, pinned in place by our intention. And that anything in our body can change, no matter what. not to take everything so seriously. Lighten up. Have fun. You have two choices. One is to be miserable, upset, worried, and the other is just to think, oh, I don't care. I might as well smile and laugh and be happy. I suggest the second choice, but everything is available. It's a free world. You can be whoever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, suffer whatever you want to suffer. Nobody's going to stop you. Only you can change that story. So let's just feel the physicality of our body. You can just kind of wiggle your toes, squeeze your feet a little bit, move your knees, shift your hips a little bit, move your spine a little bit backwards and forwards, perhaps shift your shoulders, get your neck moving, and just feel the kind of totality of your body arriving back, the physicality of you, kind of decanting yourself back from the universe, back into this container that you live in, called your beautiful body. We can start to imagine lower dantian filled with qi, deep in your belly, this vast reservoir of energy. Behind your breastbone, middle dantian, filled with qi. Up in the center of your head, filled with qi. The three dantians abundant with qi, body abundant with qi. We can imagine qi flowing up the spine to the brain, illuminating your shoulders and arms, illuminating the whole of your upper body, middle, lower body, moving down into your hips and pelvis, down to your legs, down to your feet. Everything turns back into the physical body. Don't forget your Wei Qi layer, this wonderful layer of qi around your skin, this kind of glowing field of energy around your body. Just experience that, and then experience your qi body, this beautiful bubble of qi around you. A meter in front and behind, left, right, up, down. Imagine yourself as this beautiful being of light inside these fields of energy. Safe, happy. Let's turn 3 circles round lower dantian. So we circle round lower dantian. Doesn't really matter which way you go. We draw these 3 circles round the belly button. And this just kind of brings all the qi back into the center of the body, really kind of centers you, brings you back to the core where you need to be. And then we send 3 circles in the opposite direction. That's kind of a message to the body, right? The qi part of this is over. We have to come back into the reality, whatever that is, into the reality part of this life. So come back into the physicality, draw back into your body. But we always know that we are God. We always know that we are qi. We always know that we are the universe in its entirety. Secretly packed in the back of your mind all this wonderful information to allow you to come back to this beautiful spot anytime you want, to find this MingJue peace whenever you want. You've got that little thing in your back pocket that when you feel troubled, worried, upset, you can just think, oh, there's my MingJue space. I can just settle back into that state and know that everything that's going on around me is just part of a crazy play, part of a soap opera that I've beamed myself into for this life. Don't worry, there's always better soap operas to come along. Oh, well, so put a big smile on your face. Let's just feel happy about life. Slowly open your eyes. Oof. And then we could just release our hands. We could just shake out a little bit. We could just shake our feet out and shake our legs out. If you need to do some bending, do so, but come up very slowly. Oh, whatever your back feels it needs, whatever your sides, whatever your arms and legs feel they need, just get a bit of movement back. We've been standing for, well, I don't know how long, 1.5 hours. I've got no idea. I'd lose space and time there rather a bit. Okay, so we say haola at the end of this. Haola means good already. Everything you've done is settled. All the healing you've sent is fixed. That's it. So haola is like a sort of a full stop at the end of a sentence. And so we can bring the feet together. So I'm going to put this on YouTube. If you unmute yourself, you'll suddenly appear on YouTube, which is probably best not to. So you can switch your video on, but don't switch your mic on. And then, yeah, we put our hands up in the air and we shout haola, and I'll know you're saying haola, and that'll be fine. Okay, so hands up in the air. 1, 2, hao. Voila. 1, 2. Ha. La. 1, 2. Ha. La. Oh, very good. So nice to have you here with me today. It's a real pleasure. And then sort of bring up the right hand and bring down the left hand. The two pull together, thumb on the end. So we have this is a 𝐬𝐤 qigong style salute. Just to show, I don't know, sort of respect, love, joy, all these things for each other. Really lovely to have you here today. As I always say, I'm going to put it on YouTube and I'll put it on our WhatsApp channel and I'll put it out on my socials. And if you'd be kind enough to spread it around your world, your digital world, that would be lovely as well. Share it with anybody who'd like to benefit from it or you think might benefit from it. And yeah, really lovely being here with you today. Thank you for being here, people.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.